Hello. So it's like, that's why I like that. Now look, like I said, like me liking different shit like that don't make me no better or worse than anybody else. I'm not saying that anybody should even be like that. Matter of fact, I don't really want people to be like that, because if they are, and other people started doing it, then I have to find some new shit to like. And I've spent a lot of years researching all this stuff, and I don't want to start over. So I'm just saying though, but like, what is it? I want to know what it is though that makes people do it. That's what's really, I mean, more than just knocking some shit. I would really love to know the reason why it is that people feel that need. Like, people I've known showing off Glocks, and I show off my fucking little blued and snowed nose fucking Smith & Wessons. It's like my little fucking Chief Special. Like, that's what I carry. You know, and it's like, that shit's fucking cool as fuck, dude. I mean, I doubt I'll ever even have to use my gun, so most people will never even know. What the fuck is that? Oh, sorry. Most people will never even know that I carry it, but it's just, I know. I fucking know. I guarantee that at any place I ever go, if everybody that had a firearm were to stop and just pull them out and just show what gun they're carrying, I'd be the only one with a gun like that. I'd be the only one with a fucking 38 Special Derringer as well, because I do carry that sometimes when I'm really trying to hide a gun, you know. And coach gun, I mean, I know people own them, but I'm willing to bet there's more people with assault rifles than there are a fucking 12 gauge coach gun. Matter of fact, I'd really like to get like a fucking 10 gauge and an 8 gauge coach guns as well. And not even the long barrels, man. I don't give a fuck I don't care if it kicks like a fucking mule for real. I'll take it, dude. I love guns that kick hard anyway, so. Oh, I love it. I seen this 10 gauge too. Oh my god, it's a short barrel coach gun. Blued, beautiful wood, had nice checkering and, like, you know, I don't know if they call it tooling or engraving in the wood. That's basically what it is. I don't know what the fuck they call it in wood. Maybe it's tooling. I know it's on metal, and they're like engraving metal, I think. Anyways, this fucking gun was beautiful. It's a 10 gauge. Now they had this. It's fucking unfortunate, but they had like this tactical looking fucking like a stock cover or a sleeve. I can't think of it, but it covers the entire stock, and it's all like a black, like, I don't know, neoprene. I don't think that's the right word. Vinyl something, but it's like, you know, that fucking material. And it had a fucking strap shoulder harness on it. That was the same one. I think that's the one. I might have seen two of them. But anyways, though, but the gun itself looked cool. It just needed to have like some leather, you know, like to have some extra rounds on the fucking on the stock, but like get a nice leather fucking cheek pad for it or something. That's what I got on my coach gun. And it sucks because I gotta have one of them like fucking nylon, vinyl, whatever they are, stretchy fucking sleeves over the top of it, because the fucking leather cheek pad looks badass on there. It does. And it's got, like, it's, you know, got a little bit of thick of a pad, so when you put it up, it, you know, it doesn't hit you in the face quite as hard, especially when you're like popping like hard rounds. But I pull the and it's got like leather shoelaces basically along the bottom. You lace it up real tight and tie it on. Oh, that's fucking cool. But I want one like that has a little extra loot for extra rounds on it. But for the time being, just because I keep that by my door, I got that fucking vinyl one pulled over the leather part, so it don't look nearly as cool. But you know, I like having a few extra rounds on that fucking thing just in case. I got 2 slugs and 3 rounds that are like, it has 8 lead balls that are about a little bit bigger than a pea, and they're clear shells. You can see them stacked in there, and they're like fucking brutal. I'd imagine if you put one of those in both barrels and pointed at somebody's stomach, it'd probably fucking cut them in two, especially if you're like standing back a little bit. But yeah, fucking 10 gauge coach gun, dude. I saw one. It was just fucking beautiful. I don't know how to edit shit on videos because I love to be able to just boop, pop up a picture of it as I'm talking about it, but I don't have a first clue on how to do that shit. So until the day comes that I got some money coming in and can hire somebody to fucking do that for me, And I guess y'all just have to hear my descriptions and see my drawings and shit instead of having some good shit edited in. But what is it though? Like, why does everybody want the assault rifle? I mean, I get the purpose of it. Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, they're cool as shit. I mean, they're fucking cool. I mean, not all of them. And honestly, I mean, I don't know. When I say they're cool, I don't mean like they're not my idea of cool, but they serve a purpose and they're not bad. I mean, I would definitely own an assault rifle, but my only rifle is my coach gun right now because that's what I like. Like one thing is cool is like my godson and his dad have been friends with for like 20 years now. They I think they have 2 assault rifles. But what's cool that I really liked is that they built their own instead of going out and buying one. They actually pieced them together themselves, and they bought the different parts, and they pick up a couple pieces at a gun show, add them on, and they turned out pretty cool. The first one, the 223-556, well, that was really cool looking. It looked really nice. It turned out really nice. And I'm not a big fan of assault rifles anyways, but I like that one a lot. I fucking totally have that one. And they got the legs, the 2 legs that kick out so you can prop it up and get it, balance it. Nice scope on it and shit. But I'd like to have one with iron sights, honestly. Something more old school looking. But anyways, lever action. That's what I want. 44 Magnum. I want a 20-inch barrel and a 16-inch barrel, both blued, both with wood, and both 44 Magnum. Then I want the little sawed-off one like Josh Randall and fucking Wanted Dead or Alive, Steve McQueen, his old Western show that looks like a sawed-off lever action with a big loop on it. And I've seen them. Rossi makes them. I'd have to look at one of those again because I love how the Rossi lever actions look, the full-length rifles. And every time I was in there, at the gun store that I go to, they always have new ones all the time. And I was always looking at it because it looks the closest to this Winchester my dad had. My dad had a 16-inch barrel, blued with the wood, Winchester 44 Magnum lever action, and I fucking loved that fucking rifle. And those were the closest thing I've seen to them because I think I finally found a picture of a Winchester that looked like my dad's, but I had trouble finding one because I didn't know the model name or number or whatever. So I was looking at him, and then one of the guys that worked there, thankfully, because I don't know how many people that worked there watched me sit and look at those rifles, but again, I never put one on layaway or nothing, so they didn't really need to tell me. But the one guy came out, and he was like, "Hey, check this out." He goes, I liked these 2 before, and he goes, but I heard this about them, and he showed me, he held it up, where you're looking at it from the top of the barrel. They're fucking like bowed. The fucking barrels and the stock and everything, like they have a bow to it. Now, I don't think it's anything that's going to kill somebody blowing up on you or something, but it's going to fucking put your shots way off target, especially the further away you are. So once he showed me that, like we found one that was like the best looking of all of them, and it was almost straight, but it wasn't fucking straight. After that, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Because I was kind of excited. I'm like, man, these are like not nearly as expensive as a Winchester, and then, and they look just like real close to it too. And then when I saw that, I was just like, nah, fuck that. I just put in the money and get a Winchester one day. But I don't know. I just want to know why it is that people feel this need to just do the same things that other people are doing. And then I really want to know why it is that some people do that and take it to fucking extremes. And then I also want to know why it is that people who do trendy things, or people that do trendy things and take it to the extreme, why they think that they're different. Like, I only have 1 tattoo. That's all I have. And I've always wanted more. I mean, I'm planning on getting a couple more. But like, I always wanted a bunch of fucking tattoos. I always like have the idea of having a bunch of tattoos up and down my arms, and like that even. I mean, it's not trendy like the beards are, but it just kind of became a thing for a while where it seemed like tons of people have tons of fucking tattoos, and I'm like, I don't know, it just kind of turned me off the idea. Now I'm glad I actually only have the one. I got this fucking, I don't know if it's gonna even see it, but just the cross that I got in Florida, in Fort Myer, back in 2009. because it was just one of the moments, man. That was me and the girl, my last serious girlfriend that I had, and her 2 kids. We were down in Florida for a family wedding of hers, and her mom and her sisters were just riding her the whole fucking time. We've been there a few days. We went to the wedding, and then finally one night, like, they just started, like, her sister started screaming at her, and her sister was the one that did something fucked up to begin with. But I won't go into details. But they're screaming, and so I finally just stepped up and just started fucking cussing her sister out, and the fucking bitch punched me in the fucking face like 4 fucking times. And as she's doing so, I just grabbed her wrist to keep her from fucking continuing to hit me. And this bitch's mom actually had the nerve to sit there and be like, "Oh my God, don't hit her again, Eric." And I'm like, what the fuck? And then her fucking douchey fucking husband comes downstairs acting fucking tough. And then finally we just said, fuck it, man. And then they ended up like wanting to apologize because we were staying downstairs. And you had to go out the back door and down to go to the extra room underneath. And I was like, nah, fuck that, man. I'm like, for all I know, dude, I'm about to walk into a room full of family members who think that I just punched this fucking broad, even though there wasn't a fucking mark on her. And my fucking face had gotten punched 4 times. I'm like, shit, dude, I'm not that fucking stupid, dude. I'm about to walk into a room of like 10 fucking people who knows what the fuck, dude. Like, no, I'm cool, man. I'm like, you can stay if you feel the need to. I'm cool with that. I'm not, it ain't gonna cause no problems between us. I'm like, but I'm fucking out of here, dude. And she was like, no, you're my fucking boyfriend, and so fuck it. We all packed up, 2 of us packed up our shit, our kids, we got their shit. And we left at like fucking 1, 2 o'clock in the fucking morning from this house that they had rented. With not much money. And we just happened to get this guy come pick us up in a cab. And this dude really hooked us up. They had smartphones were out at the time. Neither one of us had one. I still had a fucking flip phone at the time. So you didn't have the ability to just go online and just, easily like that. And Uber didn't exist. So we had to call a cab, which is expensive as shit. Although, this guy, though, like, we found a hotel we were on Fort Myers Beach. It was like a little separate island. There's got like a little river cutting it off from the mainland. And we checked one of them, and it was like fucking $300 a night. And I was like, yeah, no thanks. So we told this dude what happened. The cab driver, really cool fucking guy. And he went on his, I forget what the fuck they even call those GPS things. Like not a TomTom, but kind of fucking like those. It just mounts on the dashboard. And he looked down there and found a bunch of different hotels in the area. And found one for us that was like the cheapest one in the entire area. And the bridge that goes over to take you to the little Fort Myers Beach part, which literally is like 2 fucking roads. I don't know if they're north and south or if they're east and west. But it's just 2 roads. One of them is just one main road that runs all the way down the little island. And it's about a mile long or so, maybe, somewhere there. And then they got a back road in a neighborhood, like where we were standing. We were like 1 block off on a road that went the same direction. So, the bridge, because that's where all the shit to do is at. This hotel we got to, he took us to, was like a mile from that. It was like a fucking mile away from that bridge. And so we can get a cab ride for like $5 for the 4 of us. Just jump right back over the bridge and hop out, because you could just walk down the fucking road. There's shit everywhere. And so that was one of the moments where God just really fucking came through, man. And I mean, because of that, because we had like fucking like, I don't know, I want to say it was like an 8-day trip, 7 or 8 day trip, and we had only been there for like 2 days. I think that was like the 3rd night that we were there. And the first day we got there was like evening time. The sun was, on its way down. And it's like, we had fucking 5 or 6 more days to go with hardly any fucking money. And God just hooked it up, man. And like, that's just another reason, And I didn't get this tattoo until after that happened. Because we were already talking about both of us getting a tattoo. We were down there just to do it. And I think she had 1 or 2. I didn't have any at all yet. Well, no, I only got the 1, but I didn't have that yet. And then I went to every tattoo place on the fucking strip, and I don't know how, it had to have been 6, 7, 8 of them. And I'm trying to think of something I didn't have like my phone where I could just look up an image that I like and have it done. So I'm looking through all of the stock images, every fucking one of them. And I mean, the last place that I checked, the last one, I'm looking through and I see this cross right there. And I love the way it looks, you know, how it's shaped and how it's just an outline. It's like a nice thick outline, but it's just an outline. And I've thought, even since then, like I've thought many different times about getting the inside of it filled in. I think like red, like just red. But I kind of just want to, if I do get more tattoos, I really just want to have just black ink. That's it. Because that's the only thing I can think of that can like kind of sort of separate, you know, me with a few tattoos compared to, you know, most people have color on their tattoos. And I figured just having, because I have about 3, 4, 5 more of them that I want to get. And there's nothing but black ink. That's it. I want to get a Grateful Dead Steal Your Face. I want like the skull to be skin color. And I want the fucking lightning bolt to be skin color. And I want the circle, the 2 sides around the lightning bolt, I want those to be black. And I want just the skull. I don't want the outside ring around it. But as of yet, I have not done that one. My godson's name, I want to get done. It's black ink. But anyways, so that trip though was really, it was just one of them moments, like, because she believes in God too, and you know, we pray with the kids, and it was just like, I mean, we talked about it. As soon as we got to the hotel, we talked to our kids about it. We let them know, like, here's a very good example as to how that works. And I don't know, man, I honestly like get like this, that feeling of fate just kind of gets stronger talking about it, because it's like, I don't know, it's like, I mean, like I said in this other video about that fucking Ricky Jarvis, dude, like if people don't know if God is real, it ain't God's fault, and it don't mean that he's not real. It means that those people have never fucking tried to find out for themselves. Now I'm trying to, I mean, it reminds me of the flat earth thing, where it's like, people hear this shit, they hear some things that sound good, even though they don't make any fucking sense. It's presented in a way to where it sounds appealing and it sounds smart, and it's like they just go, well, damn. Why did anybody ever fucking tell me? I didn't know. I'm walking around a fucking sphere over here. It's flat. No, that explains everything. Okay. Fucking okay, bro. Yeah. And it's like they never actually do anything at all to try to figure out if that really is the case. They just fucking go with it. Like, yeah, sounds good to me. Like, you know, you could figure out real easy that that's not the case. Oh, no, it has to be. I heard it somewhere. It was on the fucking internet. They had some guy, they were talking about studies and studies show and all this other bullshit. And it's like, all right, dude, if that's what you want to believe, more power to you. But don't look to me when your fucking, your little idea gets crushed one day. And same with God, you know, it's like if people don't want to believe, man, hey, when you find out your ass is wrong, don't look at me, brother. Don't fucking look at me. That's why I put this stuff on videos, because you can't say I didn't fucking warn you. But it's like, it's just like, I mean, that's one of the moments. And it's like, dude, I have a fucking lifetime. And I've only lived half my life yet. And I have at least a lifetime worth of examples of how God has just fucking always hooked it up. All these crazy things, I don't know how many fucking hundreds of times my ass should have been fucking dead. Over and over and over. Like last year when I had them 2 times where my gut told me to do something that sounded fucking crazy. Did it anyways. Panicked. Had 4 nights in a row I couldn't sleep, and all 4 of those nights, both times, each night, not just total over the 4 nights, I'm talking about each night, I took enough Tylenol PMs each fucking night to kill anybody else, dude. Any fucking body else, they would have killed their ass. And I mean, I'm talking like one night I took like 35 fucking Tylenol PMs over the course of like 2 or 3 hours. Didn't sleep a fucking, I didn't even get drowsy. I laid there just as wide a fucking awake as I was, because my, I don't know, because I'm over here just freaking out. And it was like, once I accepted it, dude, the next fucking, that day I went home, I barely took a fucking Tylenol PM and just, I don't even remember laying my head down on the fucking pillow. And it's like, dude, I have so many examples. So many fucking examples. Whew. But it's like a good one, you know, riding a motorcycle, doing about 45, and then fucking this old lady almost cut me off, or she almost made her left turn in front of me like three different times she almost did, and kept stopping. Now, mind you, the third time I was still like fucking 100 yards away or more. And she just stops and just sitting there, and I could feel this just uneasiness inside as I started getting up there. For a moment, I was like, dude, I should just slow down and wave her on. And I'm like, just go. And I fucking speed up to her. I'm doing about 60, 65. And I like kind of ease over to the right just to make sure. And at the last second, she just fucking goes. Just fucking went. And I'm like, this bro could have made that fucking turn at least 15 times before I got there. And then she waits until I'm like 5 to 10 feet away from the intersection, doing 60 to 65 miles an hour, and just says, fuck them. That's fucking crazy. And then, like, as I'm flopping down a fucking road and just sliding down, just having my fucking skin just fucking sanded off my fucking arm and head, the thought of dying or breaking bones, I mean, literally not even breaking bones, that never crossed my mind. But dying, like being paralyzed or having some serious injury or even having a broken bone. I mean, the thoughts as I'm fucking flopping, I mean, dude, it was fucking crazy. And those thoughts never even enter my head because I fucking know. And it's like, people can say, well, how do you know? I mean, like, dude, that could have easily killed you, or this and that, or how could you know for sure that you were going to be fine? Like, because I know who God is. That's how I know. That's why this shit don't ever cross my mind. That's why this virus shit does not fucking scare me. It doesn't worry me. It don't concern me. I barely even fucking think about it except when I'm talking about it on here. Why? Because I know who God is. And I know he is fucking absolutely on my side, dude. Like, me and God are fucking best buds, dude. And I don't worry about it. I don't feel the need to wear a fucking mask. I don't feel the need to get a fucking shot. I don't even feel the need to go get a fucking test just to find out if I have it or whatever. I don't fucking care. I know. And the thing is, though, these last few years, the last 5 years, you know, the last, pretty much from that, because that 6-year period, it was all different stuff that I was learning. But over the last 5 years, as of this coming 4th of July, 1 month from the date, 30 days from now, will be 5 years. And it's like, during that time, I better hurry up because I don't know how much more. Hopefully I'll be able to get, because I made it through 2 full videos, and then, what the fuck is that thing? I don't know, it's a weird shadow. It looked like a bat or something, but I couldn't fucking see it. So anyways, I rolled in my 3rd video, and it chopped it at like 5 minutes. And I don't know if that's because it at the time, I think it was on the SD card, and I ran out of space. So I think that's why. So now that I'm on normal storage, and I have room, I'm going to attempt to do a 3rd video. I don't know if there is a time limit. So anyways, it's like over these last 5 years, especially over like the last 2 years and, was it June? 2 years and 3 months. And especially over like the last year and a half, especially over like the last year, and fucking even more, especially this year already. God has been like that in my head about death, serious injury, and serious illness. Like, my entire life, even as a kid, man, I was just like, if anybody asks, like, well, how do you know? Same with seatbelts. You know, a police officer told me one time when he gave me a ticket, put it on, it'll save your life one day. And I'm like, well, yeah, at that point, I'm like 37 years old. It ain't saved my life a fucking time yet. So, and it's like, I just want to look and be like, dude, I know who God is. I don't need no fucking seatbelt. The fuck are you talking about? Shit, man. And I'm like, is that Jupiter? I think it is. It's late as fuck right now. So anyways, when it comes to that stuff, like that literally, that's why I don't worry about it. But anyways, so over this last 5 years, and especially all these other more recent amounts of time, God has been taking other things like fate, which again, like that, it's like, dude, I can tell you honestly, the fate that I know God has for me, there has never been a single second in my life where I've ever honestly, truly thought that it wasn't going to happen. Not at any point ever. Even when there's a couple times I panicked over the last few years, that like, that's what I mean. Like everything that God has told me is coming. I have never, ever once, not for 1 second, ever doubted. Not during that fucking 6 years, and definitely not since everything turned around 5 years ago. But it's like, my issue was not if, it was just when. That's what my mind had issues with, because it was trying to figure it out, and because my mind, even though God had already taught me patience by 2 years ago, there's just certain things where like I was just kind of in a hurry for, but I knew that it wasn't going to happen, that these things aren't going to happen like as early as I had previously thought. Like even then I knew there was going to be delays, and I could already think of at least a couple of reasons at the time, and like now looking back, I'm like, holy shit, dude. Again, I wouldn't have it any other way, man. I want all these things. I cannot fucking wait for them. But when I say I cannot wait, it is literally a figure of speech. Because I am so fucking excited, but at the same time, I'm not in a hurry for anything anymore. I am never in a fucking hurry for any reason ever, man. Ever. And it's like, I bet you if like, when the day comes that I die, whoever's driving the hearse, like, is there in the fuck is that? Sounds like some animal's getting killed out in the woods. Hold on. In case you gotta shoot this motherfucker. I heard this shit the other night, man. It sounds like a fucking coyote just like eating a cat. I don't know if you can hear that shit or not. I almost want to pop off a fucking round and scare it off, but yeah, there's people close enough. I don't want them to fucking hear that. I just gotta keep an ear out for that shit. Anyways. Hold on, let me think here. Sorry, I just want to get my gun in a easier to grab fucking spot just in case. But so anyhow, it's like, no, that's not a good spot. That's probably where I had it. The only issues of when I kind of lost my train of thought there. Sorry. So it was only issues of when, not if. Oh, yes, that's why, the delays. Like, honestly, like, even though at the time I was like, fuck, dude, I don't want to have delays, I knew of at least a couple reasons. And looking back, it's like, dude, again, just like them 6 years, I would not fucking change a thing, because all of these realizations, all of them, came about because one thing I really wanted to happen at the time, which is going to happen at some point, didn't happen yet, and because one thing I really fucking did not want to have to fucking happen did happen. And somehow these couple things just kicked off all of these realizations I've had. Hold on. Sorry. But that's what kicked off. It was like the first thing, the one thing didn't happen. And then all of a sudden, the other thing that I fucking was like for months, I was like, fuck, I don't want this to happen. I mean, so much so, I wouldn't even talk about it to myself. I kid you, I wouldn't even talk to God about it, because I'm like, I knew this was coming, and I fucking did not want it to be. And the fuck, I'm hearing now footsteps, like animal steps. Anyways, alright, it fucking comes out, and it catches a fucking hollow point in the fucking head. But I literally, for months, that thing I did not want to happen, I spent months trying to positive talk my way out of that shit. I wouldn't speak about it to myself or to God other than like twice maybe over a several month period. And I just kept saying that the thing that I know was going to happen but hadn't happened yet, I just kept saying, I know that's going to happen. I know it's going to fucking happen. And I was even saying that, like, when this thing that I didn't want to happen came, I was saying that the thing that I wanted to happen, that is going to happen eventually, just kept saying for months that was what was going to happen instead. And it was one of them instances where I realized, like, I'm all for positive thinking, but that's one moment where positive thinking did not change that scenario, thank God, because that's the way God wanted to go. So, because of these two things happening the way they did, and like I said, the thing that I want to happen, I fucking know it as much as I've ever known anything in my whole life. My issues over the last couple of years have been when. On that one especially has been when, but not if. Not if at all. But because of these circumstances happening the way they did, that somehow, some way that after the thing that I did not want to happen happened, it just fucking kicked off this chain reaction to where that's when I first realized about a year and a half ago about my gut and how that's been like, that is what has dictated everything in my whole life. And again, when I say my gut, I mean God. It's just another 3-letter G word. But what the fuck? Hold on a minute.